Greetings, Father Joe here, your friendly neighborhood pastor, coming to you from St. Patrick's Church in lovely Highland Mills, New York. Today is the feast of St. Andrew Apostle, and we are reminded that our church is one holy Catholic and apostolic. Apostolic means to be sent. So we are called to be a missionary church. St. Paul focuses on this in his 10th chapter in his letter to the Romans when he speaks about how we need to go out to people. He says, how can they call on, one verse earlier, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But how can they call on him if they have not believed? And how can they believe if they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone to preach? And how can someone preach unless they are sent? So we are called to go out and to bring the good news to the world, or to preach. St. Francis of Assisi is supposed to have said, by the way, it doesn't sound like St. Francis, but it's always attributed to him, that we should preach always, and when all else fails, use words. Or in other words, our whole life should be a gospel that people could see or hear. We come to Mass. I preached this at Mass today. So I said, if you're here at Mass, even our word for worship is the Mass, and it's from missa, it's from being sent. So postal, like the postal office, the apostle, same root word. God sends us out into the world. And he sends us out so that we can spread the good news and so that we can then bring people back. Our church is one holy Catholic and apostolic. If we're going to be apostolic, our church has to be Catholic. It has to be universal, international. It's got to be all-inclusive. And in order for our church to be truly Catholic or universal, we need to be sent. It's not enough to simply open the doors and say, okay, there we go. So when we have the feast of an apostle, this should not be an occasion for us to say, well, isn't that great? He had the calling to be sent. Some people do have a specific missionary vocation, but we all have a vocation to be in our own life, to be missionary or apostolic. So the good news is that Jesus formed a church which is one holy Catholic and apostolic. The challenge is for us to work for unity and for sanctity and for universality and to have this missionary spirit or missionary zeal. God bless you.